NBA playoffs. Game 3s on Saturday. The Pistons travel to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. The Thunder travel to LA to take on the Lakers. Let's break them both down with this daily double video powered by WagerTalk. I'm Ted Savransky. Teddy covers from WagerTalk.com. And let's start by looking at the odds logic screen for the earlier of these two games. That would be Detroit and Cleveland. Right now, I'm seeing a mix. There are -4s for the Cavs. There are -4.5s as well. And it's not a scenario where all the books that cater to recreational bettors are at 4 and all the books that cater to sharp bettors are at 4.5. No, it's a mix and match for this as we record this on Friday. I'm seeing both 4 and 4.5s. Like I say, widely available. There are more 4.5s and 4s out there for Cleveland. But if you shop around, and that's the beauty of the Odds Logic live odds screen, is that you can shop around. All right, I'm going to make my bet here and lay 4 instead of there at 4.5. Get a free trial, by the way, oddslogic.com/Teddy. Takes about a minute to fill out the form, and you can play with it for 7 days. Again, oddslogic.com/Teddy. But Cleveland -4, 4.5, total sitting in the 211.5/212 range for this one. And it's certainly a scenario, where the Pistons have been the tougher team. They've been the mentally tougher team, and that's no surprise. I mean, Cleveland, when we talk about the history of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, these are not two of the toughest players in the NBA. And certainly when it comes to mental toughness and digging deep, there's a reason that Mitchell's never been out of the second round. There's a reason that Harden has only done it when he's been with a championship-winning or championship contending team earlier in his career. So certainly from a side standpoint, it's a Cleveland spot. Returning home, this is where Detroit's supposed to exhale. And from a talent standpoint, the markets are telling us that the Cavs every bit as talented, if not more so, than the Pistons. And of course, it's Cleveland coming off a particularly bad game, which, they're pretty awful on offense for extended stretches of game number 2, where not a lot went right in terms of key guys having bad efforts for the Cavs. So I get it. It's a Cleveland spot. I'm not looking to lay the price here with the Cavs necessarily, no. And certainly when I'm going to get involved in this game, we're going to look at the total. Plain and simple. And over is the direction we're looking. Now, this is not about pace. Game 1, game 2 were both played at a relatively slow pace. That being said, we've seen the markets adjust, and we're looking at 211.5/212 right now compared to 216, a couple of days ago. And of course, what did we see from the Cavs the other night? Schroeder couldn't hit a shot. Max Strus couldn't hit a shot. Their bench got badly outplayed. Harden 3 of 13 from the floor. Mobley a non-factor on the offensive end. These are not the type of problems offensively that I expect to be a long-term issue for Cleveland. And for as tough as the Pistons are very physical defensively, and the refs are certainly willing to call free throws, especially willing to call free throws to extend a series when a team's down 0-2. So I would not be surprised if we see some calls go Cleveland's way. I would not be surprised if the Cavs live at the free throw line in this ballgame. Donovan Mitchell got 2 free throw attempts in game number 1. In game number 2, he got to the line 9 times. His quote, I'm not getting the calls. I don't flop. Maybe that's why. It's frustrating because I'm such a dynamic driver, right? Got to find a way to finish. And of course, Kenny Atkinson, just going to continue to plead with him to get in the paint, get to the rim. That's all you can do. That's all you control. We got to keep driving the ball. You meet aggressiveness with aggressiveness, and then we make the right read. So keep getting to the paint. It'll turn. It usually does with the free throws. That, to me, is a very meaningful quote for Cleveland. And it makes me very interested in the over in this ballgame because we're expecting a little bit more. And again, for all the struggles of the Cavs are 0-5 straight up, 0-5 ATS in their 5 road games in the postseason. They've won all the home games. I believe they're 3-1 against the number. I can't remember if they covered game 7 or not. They did. There's a 3-1 against the number at home. All their problems have been on the highway where they haven't been able to do anything. At home, the offense has worked. The team has worked. And one would expect the whistles to be a little bit friendlier for Cleveland, even though they did get even though that they had the foul shooting edge in game 2. Frankly, I thought they deserved it even more than they got it. Now, we talk about totals. What matters for totals? Pace, three-point shooting, free throw attempts. Well, the Cavs' game plan is drive into the paint and kick it out to the shooters. We expect good three-point shooting, and we expect fouls in those scenarios. And certainly when it comes to pace, no, we're not going to get up, down, up and down the floor between these two teams. Not going to happen. But after getting bogged down in the half court each of the last two games, I do look for the Cavs to try to push tempo at least a little bit in this one. And that has this better looking at the over. An early start afternoon action on Saturday. Again, this is a noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time start between the Cavs and the Pistons for Game 3. Before I talk about the Thunder and the Lakers and see if the Lakers have a chance to compete in Game 3, what do we do with the total in that one? I do want to let you know what's going on right now at WagerTalk.com. NBA postseason has been good, guys. Consistently good. I'm looking for my 5th consecutive winning postseason. We've hit 58% over the last 5 postseasons. More than 80 years of profit during that span. The baseball has been running good. Check out my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. And don't buy a play. If you want to get on board, let's partner up, buy a package. Great opportunities right now. Again, wt.buzz/TC to visit the homepage. We appreciate your support. And of course, if you like these videos, the comments, the likes, the follows, they make all the difference. Thank you for your support. And of course, what do we got? 250,000, 250,000 of you are now subscribed to WagerTalk TV. If you haven't done it, do it right now. You get instant alerts every time these videos go live. OKC, looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen, 8.5 point road chalk total sitting in the 211.5/212 range for Game 3, Thunder and Lakers. And obviously the big story of Game 2, well, there were two big stories of Game 2. One was that the Lakers played about as well as they could play for, about 3/4 of that game, and still lost and failed to cover the number, which is scary for LA. Because I don't know if they got a whole lot of games better than the one they just played through. Not on the offensive end, where they shot 50% from the floor. Reeves was making buckets throughout the course of that contest. He was someone who we were a little bit concerned about in terms of finding his offensive rhythm, and he did nothing but make shots. Obviously, LeBron had another brilliant game, although he didn't get to the free throw line much. We saw Luke Kennard hitting threes off the bench, and even with all of that, Hachimura was hitting threes in that ballgame. Even with all of those positive things for LA offensively, all it took is one Thunder run. You blink, you go to the bathroom, come back. Oh, wow, Thunder up 10. Wow, they're up a dozen. Oh, wow, they're going to cover the number. That's the issue with LA against OKC. There's a different level of athleticism. The runs that OKC can go on are not runs that the LA Lakers can match, at least not in this bettor's opinion. That being said, the other story, big story from game number 2, were the refs. And there was a lot of whining, bitching, moaning from LA about the referees in that ballgame. I don't blame them. It can be very frustrating going against a team that's getting calls when you're not getting calls. And some nights that happens. But, JJ Redick, quote, I sarcastically said the other day, they're the most disruptive team without fouling. I mean, they have a few guys that foul on every single possession. They're hard enough to play. You got to be able to just call them if they foul, and they do foul. Redick was mad. LeBron was mad. Everyone for the Lakers was mad. They were getting technicals. Austin Reeves was yelling at the refs after the game. What do we expect off of that? Well, Lakers returning home. We expect them to get a couple more calls in this game. I do. Does that mean I want to take the points with LA? I do not. Stepping in front of OKC is a scary endeavor in the sense of they go on these runs. They're so elite defensively. And you can play good competitive basketball and all of a sudden blink and you're down by 10. And it's not like they can't win on the highway. I would not be surprised to see OKC take care of business in this game. I wouldn't, even with it being a Lakers spot. All that said, the play here is total, not side. What do we expect? We expect more free throws in this ballgame from LA. What have we seen? We've seen OKC do whatever they wanted to do offensively against the Lakers. I don't think that changes. I'm not sure that JJ Redick has a defensive game plan to shut down the Thunder, given the limitations of his roster on the defensive end of the court. So we expect LA to get to the free throw line more. We expect OKC to continue getting good looks. And again, it's not a series that's being played with great pace, but we still expect to see, again, Total sitting 211.5/212. That's low enough that we don't need a track meet to get up and over the total. So, yeah, we'll look for points on Saturday. Points for the Pistons and the Cavs, points for the Thunder and the Lakers, over and over. Thanks so much for watching this video. Appreciate those comments, those likes, those follows. Have yourself a great betting Saturday and Sunday and beyond. And of course, check out the website, WagerTalk.com, or my homepage, www.buzz.com/TC. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.